Good morning everyone, welcome back to another video where I discuss basic lore that most everybody already knows, but just in more detail. We are finally discussing the starting zone of the OG Horde race, the Orcs. The Orcs have been paramount in the Warcraft universe since the very beginning of the self-titled games, Orcs vs Humans. The overall history of the Orcs have gone through several reworks and retcons, but I'll do my best to cover the current iteration of them in current times. Long story short, they're originally from the planet of Draenor, which is what we know as Outland, where they escaped their homeworld and invaded Azeroth through the Dark Portal, which is now located in the Blasted Lands. This is where they laid siege to the human lands for over 20 years. Eventually, the Warchief Thrall led the Orcs across the sea to Kalimdor to rally other races to his cause, such as the Tauren and the Darkspear Trolls. After the Legion invasion and the end of the Third War, Thrall allied with the Night Elves and humans on top of Mount Hyjal to defeat the Burning Legion. Thrall founded Orgrimmar, the capital city of the Orcs located here in Durotar. We begin your journey as a coming-of-age orc in the appropriately named Valley of Trials, where you will test your mettle and hone your skills to serve the Horde with your axe or spell. When you first enter the world, you're placed in a small camp in front of the Orc Kaltunk. He will give you your very first quest, Your Place in the World. No doubt you would love to slay some dragons or topple a city, but you must hone your skills first in this harsh wasteland. He assigns you to Gornek, who will set you on your first path towards heroism. Gornek is sitting right across from the fire circle. He wants to see what you're made of with the Cutting Teeth quest. He doesn't appear to have much faith in you yet, so prove him that you're a worthy fighter and slay 6 of the modeled boar in the area. Which apparently he has some arrangement with the local farmer law club, because it's the only area with the boars now and the poor man's pen, and you're about to slaughter about half of his own entire livestock. Return to Gornek and he reminds you not to let some dead boars go to your head, but you show promise and he will give you Invaders in Our Home quest. He tells you that you have a more secretive mission for you, and the humans have invaded the Valley of Trials with their scouts. He wants you to eliminate all the humans that you find before word gets out around the camp. Luckily for you, the humans aren't very stealthy, and although they are trying to hide from you, you can easily slay 7 of them and eliminate them before returning to them. During this quest, it's also worth noting that Gornek mentions they are Kul Tiras scouts, who follow orders from Jaina Proudmoore. There was once a tenuous treaty between Jaina and the Orcs of Durotar, but as far as we can figure, being a new orc, that the treaty has all but evaporated since the Battle of Mount Hyjal, and the Kul Tiras soldiers either no longer follow Jaina Proudmoore, or the treaty has ended. Return to Gornek and he will have another quest for you called Sting of the Scorpid, saying he must send you back into the fields. New recruits often get stung by scorpions north of the camp, and there must always be a large amount of anti-venom on hand to cure the wounds stung by them. Make sure you don't eat any yourself and kill 8 of them and return with their tails so you can extract the anti-venom for them for new soldiers. But before you leave camp, head over to the meat tent and the kitchen area to speak with Galgar. He has a simpler quest for you while you're out in the fields. He's trying to make his famous cactus apple surprise, where he never really clarifies what the surprise is in the cactus apples. I always figured it was a pie of some sort, but reading this and, gathering the apples, it's supposed to cool you off, and I think he literally just hands people fresh apples for the placebo effect of him actually doing something as a cook. Regardless, while you're out in the fields with the scorpids, gather 6 of the cactus apples from them. The scorpids themselves shouldn't cause too much trouble, and the apples are easy enough to find on the cacti around the valley. So return your bundle to Galgar first, and you see this chick just dancing inside of the cooking fire. Galgar has a pretty messed up team. I mean, are we orc cannibals now just eating each other? But she seems to be enjoying herself, I guess. Turn the 6 apples to Galgar, then he returns 10 portions to you. So he's also doing some black magic, turning 6 apples into 10 apples, and cooking his orc friends, but they seem to be enjoying it, so I don't know, for the Horde, I guess? Head back to Gornek at the fire circle, and he has a good lesson for you, that even the smallest of creatures can topple a large enemy. Gornek is done with you, but then you notice that the troll Canage Earthcaller gets your attention from across camp. His friend Hanazuo apparently has gone missing and was last seen north of camp, so pick up the quest from him and head out. On the outer rim of the camp there are a few more quest givers. One is Zaretha Fargaze, who was sent to the valley to guide you, but has since discovered a terrible evil in the valley. The Burning Blade, a foul demon-worshipping cult, has made home in the Coven to the north and are summoning vile familiars to cause havoc. Take up your axe and slay 8 of them. Seeing the urgency of this task, go up north and complete that first task for Zaretha. Once you make your way up to the Coven, the small demons will be the first formidable opponent you face, who don't just die at one smack of your axe, but they should still go down fairly easily now that you have a few abilities. Once you have slain them, head a bit to the west and find the troll Hanazuo underneath a tree. You will see him lying down, apparently injured and groaning in pain. He is, however, very happy to see a friendly face and tells a tale of a particularly vicious scorpion he calls Sarkoth. He asks you to uphold his honor and find the scorpion and slay him, just in case he doesn't make it with the poison coursing through his veins. Sarkoth is definitely a big bad, and it takes a second to bring him down. Pro tip also, if you're rolling a hunter, he has a really cool scorpion model, and you should probably come back here to tame him if you're looking for a poison pet right off the bat, but that's none of my business. We don't play hunters here. Once you have slain Sarkoth and pull his stinger off, return to Hanazuo and let him know that the deed is done. He seems proud still to have inflicted some wound upon the creature. He is brought back to his feet with renewed strength and wants you to return to Gornek with the news of his plight. So return to him and receive a reward, saying that he is impressed that you have slain such a beast like Sarkoth. Next, head back to Zaretha, saying that your task is complete in the Coven as well. She explains there are darker powers at work than simple familiars, and it won't be the last time you two speak. But for now, speak with Foreman Sazril, who is right next to her, for the quest Lazy Peons, where he will complain that the peons, who are the laborers for the Horde, have been caught napping lately, and he wants you to take his blackjack paddle and wake them up. So, just to clear things up, you're essentially tasked with physically beating a slave workforce into shape to cut down trees. Do I approve? No, but it is one of the more fun quests in the starting zone, and you can find the sleeping NPCs all around the valley, and then make them complain about their daily grind that I'm sure most of us know in the real world. You'll find all the peons hiding beneath the trees surrounding the valley. Simply wait for them to fall asleep, and then immediately smack the crap out of them to get them back to chopping wood. And it's great because they call it tree hitting. Like, they're not even chopping wood, they're like, okay, back to tree hitting, job's done. It sounds like a pretty good career if you ask me, other than the physical abuse and constant eyes on you, but once you abuse 4 of the peons and wake them up and make them return to work, return the blackjack to the foreman for your last set of quests in the valley. Sazril will explain that you are reliable and asks you to retrieve his mining pick from the Burning Blade Coven you were just at with the Vile Familiars. One day he was mining in the waterfall chamber of the Coven where he left it. When he returned to the Coven, it had been overtaken by the warlocks, and he needs someone like you to retrieve it for him. So accept the quest from Sazril, and then speak to Zaretha for one more quest called the Burning Blade Medallion, and head back to the Coven. This time, Zaretha wants you to go inside the Coven and slay the Fellstalker demons, who are much more vicious than your previous foes. She also wants you to slay the Burning Blade leader, who is responsible for summoning all the dark forces in the cave. Make your way back to the cave, where slaying 5 Fellstalkers should be complete by the time you reach your main objective, Yarog Baneshadow, who is the cult leader who is summoning these demons. He is casting a ritual of demonic summoning, so charge in and slay him before you can complete it. Once he is dead, pull his medallion from his corpse and make a quick stop to the center of the cave where you'll find Sazril's mining pick. Once you have the pick in hand, head out of the cave and return to camp one last time. Both Zaretha and Sazril thank you for your hard work. Zaretha is sure it is not the last time you'll see the Burning Blade in these lands, but appreciates all that you have done in the Valley of Trials. She then asks you to report to Ascension Village and find Master Gatorin to report the fell taint in the Valley of Trials, and to warn him to be on the lookout for enemies spilling over to them. Your time in the valley is done, and you have proven your mettle. Now make your way down the path outside of the valley where the road will split towards Ascension Village and Razor Hill, the 2 main hubs in Durotar. And on that note, that concludes the Orc Starting Zone, Valley of Trials. This is one of those classic zones that didn't change too much with the Cataclysm expansion, and almost all the quests are the same. The Orcs have been very much a staple in the Warcraft universe and are literally why the game is called Warcraft with the humans. There will be a ton to learn and explore in future videos with the Orcish zones, and I'm super excited to bring the next steps of the adventure to you guys. If you liked the video, I really appreciate it if you could tell me in the comments below, or just simply hit that like button. I upload a video every Monday and sometimes bonus video on Friday, so hit that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with my content. And thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.